I hope you managed to open the file. If you need me to give you like a minute until the file opens.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Which one should I open?
You can open wherever you were left with modeling last week with the building, because we want to try assigning IFC entities, and it would be good if you have an actual model of a building. So it's either where you were left last time or this one. Under part 2 in Moodle, you can find Revit tutorial part 2, but choose the Revit file.
Part 2 is the complete one.
Yeah, part 2 is where we were left last time, like what we achieved to model and to explain. It will be this file. Okay, I guess I can continue now.
Right, like.
Okay, I will continue talking in the beginning, so I guess it's fine, you can finalize that. So what we're gonna deal with today is making sure that the mapping of the Revit categories and elements is being done properly into IFC classes. That's particularly important to check now before exporting. So you have finished modeling something and you want to check whether that will be mapped correctly into IFC classes. In order to start checking that, as a first step, what you can do is you can go here to File, and then you have Export. File, Export, and you see the small arrow here, and you can go to the bottom of it. You find Options, and then IFC Options. Should I click on it, or are you still finding it? Okay, you click on IFC Option, and then you get to this mapping table, we call it, where you can see about every Revit category into what IFC class it is going to be exported as, or it is going to be mapped as. So most of the categories in Revit have something already assigned to them, or let's say the most important ones that you will use. So piles and abutment walls, or then each category in Revit is going to be assigned to something. What is important maybe to keep an eye is that here you can change something. Like you're particularly interested, like in cases maybe you have modeled something in mass and you want to make sure that that mass is going to be exported into something, then you can go to this table and you can check this IFC class name and make sure that it doesn't have, for example, this not exported. That? Yes. Okay, you go to File, Export, and then completely to the bottom with this arrow, you have Options. Like you can just hover over that arrow, like you don't have to click, and then you click on IFC Options. Okay. Yeah. So I can repeat it again. This is the mapping table. It's important to check if some category. Yeah. Again.
Sorry, I don't have the IFC.
Yeah. So I can get there. I was gonna get there now. If you're using Revit 25, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for those of you that are using Revit 25, again, there has been a change. In 24, it was the same, and I just did my homework this time and checked how is it in 25. It is a bit different again. I can tell you how to find it in 25. I don't have Revit 25 here because it's complicated to have two versions of Revit at the same time due to space. But you can go to File, Export, and then IFC, and then click on this one. For those who are using 25 only. And if I'm not mistaken, it was here into Modify Setup. Under General, you have you have something that is called, I included that also in the notes here. Just a second. Yep, mapping. It's on page 12 from the notes of today. You have mapping table in Revit 25, and under general you can find category mapping. That's what it's called. So you should have here an option that says category mapping. Do you have that? Yeah, so click there. When you click on that, you're gonna see a similar view, and it's gonna be they're similar with one that we use in 23. Okay, did you find it? I can repeat again.
Maybe mine is in German, so I have to.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, we can go again to where we were. You can see this again, export, options, and IFC options. This is the table. So as I said, it's important to check if something is not being mapped, it will say not exported. If you want something to not be mapped, like this certain element, you can write not exported, but you have to be careful with how you type it, like type it exactly like that. If you want to change how one of these elements is being mapped as, you have to again write it like, let's say this is an element that you don't want it to be IFC slab, but you want it to be an IFC wall. You have to check how it's named